Eddington was a weird watch. This movie was billed and advertised as a standoff between a small town sheriff and a mayor during the 2020 lockdown, but really, to me, it was more of following the descent into insanity of a small town sheriff during the weird times that were the 2020 lockdown. Calling this movie a slow start would be a huge understatement. Honestly, it took about an hour to an hour and a half for this movie to really get going at all, which is a lot of time. That's almost a whole movie to get going. That first hour, especially, is painfully slow and a bit boring. Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal are set up as our two leads here, but it's really more Joaquin Phoenix's movie to its own detriment. Honestly, the worst part about this movie for me, aside from the slow start and pacing, was Joaquin Phoenix as the lead here. It felt like he was a black hole of charisma. Not that his character is supposed to be super charismatic. He's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be kind of an awkward guy. But oh my god, everything else going on around him was so much more interesting than his actual story. The plotline with him and Emma Stone just did not move me at all. It was the low part of the movie, and it's a lot of that first two-thirds of the movie, first half of the movie. While I didn't like Joaquin Phoenix's performance, everything else happening around him was fantastic and really intriguing, especially as we get going later into the movie. Pedro Pascal's character was really fun to get into, and he did a great job here. The actor who played his son, Matt Gomez, and the actor who played his friend, Cameron, were some of the standouts for this movie for me. Their storyline and what they had going on was much more entertaining than anything our main character had going on. They were involved in all of the high points. Austin Butler plays a David Koresh, creepy cult leader type vibe. He doesn't have a huge role in the movie, but where he is available, he's doing a really good job. Like, he's really selling his performance. He's carrying all the scenes he's in, and in those scenes, he acts Emma Stone and Joaquin Phoenix under the table. Everyone else in that room is clearly taking a backseat to the performance he's putting on, which in part fits because he's supposed to be a charismatic cult leader type presence that can take over a room, but still, it felt like he was really carrying any scene he was in. The movie had some fun camera work. There's a shot early on where Joaquin Phoenix and Emma Stone lay down into bed, and the way the camera moves with them and then kind of sticks there as they talk in that angle position was really creative, and it was a shot that I liked a lot. And then later on, there's not exactly an action scene per se, but it's a scene where a character is very much out of it and has kind of snapped, and the way they play with the zoom in that scene and in those shots worked really well for me. It was interesting. This movie did give me a few genuine laughs, and almost all of those were from Cameron Mann's performance as this teenager who's living through and going through the strange events that were 2020 and the social movements that happened during that time, and trying to process his part in all of it. He was honestly hilarious. He has one scene at the dinner table with his parents where I cracked up laughing. He's ultimately a small role in this movie, but he's the part that worked the most, and he carried such a big part all throughout that his little bit at the end of the story tied it all together for me and made the movie work overall, even if those first two-thirds were boring as shit. There's some commentary in here on every topic, from data centers to conspiracy theories to political issues on both sides of the aisle, which they do a good job of showing a recurring theme throughout of hypocrisy. How everyone in this movie is a hypocrite in some way or another. Of all of the Ari Aster films I've seen, I would put this above Beau is Afraid. I really did not like Beau is Afraid at all, but below things like Hereditary and Midsummer. To be honest, I don't want to see more of the Ari Aster Joaquin Phoenix partnership. It doesn't work for me. I don't like the way they work with each other. Two of my least favorite Joaquin Phoenix performances have come in both of his Ari Aster movies. I just don't think they're a good partnership. At least for me, I don't enjoy when I see them on screen together. Both of Ari Aster's worst movies to me are Joaquin Phoenix led. I think they'd be much better apart. I really don't want to see this partnership moving forward together. It is cool to see directors and actors partner up, like Scorsese and DiCaprio, or any others you can think of. There's a million partnerships out there, but this one is something that I hope breaks up, doesn't stay together, because to me, they bring out the worst in each other filmmaking wise. The social commentary is everywhere in this movie. It's dripping with it. It's almost an analysis or a little look at the totally out there and fugue state almost time that was the pandemic and that lockdown, but it covers so many topics. It doesn't really cover any one all that well. Michael Ward gives a great performance playing Michael in this movie. He's one of the deputies to Joaquin Phoenix's sheriff, and the movie hinges a lot on what he's going through. He's the character who we have something of an emotional through line with, at least for me. I didn't connect at all with Joaquin Phoenix or Emma Stone's emotional parts of the movie. So having a character like Michael we can somewhat care about and root for, I enjoyed. It's not really meant to be that kind of movie where the characters are important and supposed to care about any one character. This movie is much more about the wider commentary it's making, but still, it's nice to have something to latch onto in a movie, and he gives you that something to kind of care about and root for throughout. All in all, I'd give Eddington about a 6 out of 10. It could have been closer to an 8, maybe a 9. No, it could have been more like an 8 if they cut down the runtime a good bit and made this movie a bit more streamlined. It drags so much that if it was just trimmed down and edited better and was a much shorter movie, it would be a much better movie. That's my review of Eddington. Please subscribe, follow, give me a like. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Have a great day.